When I first started taking the gym seriously, I was just convinced about being as big as possible, and I would do whatever it took to get there. I was lifting as heavy as possible, eating as much as possible, no matter what it was. If it had calories in it, I was eating it, and that ended up making me skinny fat. And I had a decent amount of muscle mass, but I also was kind of fat and I just looked like a blob of meat. I had no jawline, no abs, no muscle definition. I was doing no cardio. I felt like shit and I wasn't happy with the way I looked. When I first started in the gym, I was literally a stick. I've always been skinny my entire life, so I decided to hit a massive bulk, and that's how I ended up looking like this, almost skinny fat, not happy with the way I looked. So I decided to go from skinny fat to shredded, and this is exactly how I did it. The first thing I did to get shredded was fix my nutrition. As I said, when I was trying to get as big as possible, I was just eating an insane amount of food. I was in a massive calorie surplus, and obviously you end up putting on fat. When you're trying to lose weight or get shredded, you want to be in a calorie deficit. Now this is super important. You literally cannot lose fat or body weight without being in a calorie deficit. It's impossible. The first step in getting shredded was fixing my nutrition, and this meant eating in a calorie deficit. When I was eating in the calorie surplus, I got fat. Obviously, that's what happens. If you're eating in a surplus, you're going to put on weight. When you eat in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. And if you don't know what that means, it means you're simply burning more calories than you're eating. To work out what you want to be eating, you need to work out your maintenance calories. This is the amount of calories that you should be eating to stay exactly where you are, to stay at the same weight you are. Now, to be in a deficit, you want to eat below this line, and it pretty much means you're burning more than you're eating. So this allows our body to lose fat and lose weight. Without this, it's literally impossible to lose weight. When you're tracking your calories, you need to make sure that you're staying super consistent and disciplined. You can't just track calories 5 days a week and on the weekend eat what you want. It's going to cancel it out. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. So what I was doing was staying super disciplined and sticking to that number, whether I liked it or not, whether I was hungry or not, I was sticking to that number. Another thing that I did when fixing my nutrition was trying to eat as clean as possible. At the point of me losing all this weight, I was in a boxing training camp. So I wanted to be as light and as strong as I was. I had the mindset, because I wanted to win this fight, that I had to do it no matter how I felt about it, which helped me stay disciplined. But the eating as clean as possible was a really helpful factor in reducing the amount of fat I had and allowing me to gain muscle. So I love crisps. That is like the number one food for me. I love them. Now, what I did in that 6 months that I was training for the training camp, I ate no crisps. I had to be disciplined. I knew it wasn't going to help me get to my goal, so I gave them up. And obviously other foods, like I would try and wake up in the morning and eat Greek yogurt and fruit, and rather than eating like junk food like sausage rolls or anything like that, I would try and eat chili and rice and just eat as clean as possible. And obviously that is going to help us, especially in a calorie deficit, keep the calories low, keep the protein high, and overall stick to that goal. Another thing that I did was tried limiting the amount of refined sugar that I ate. I have a really big sweet tooth. I literally could eat chocolate for breakfast, and what I did is I gave up eating as much refined sugar as possible. Now, as I said, I have a sweet tooth. I love eating sweets and stuff like that. What I did is I got the small little 10p packets of Haribos. I don't know if you're from England or the UK, then you know what I'm on about. I'll put a picture on the screen anyway. And I would have one little sweet out of that pack every night. And I would literally savor it. After training, after working hard all day, after eating clean all day, that was my little thing to look forward to. And as I said, discipline is super important. I didn't really enjoy that. That was literally 5 seconds of like enjoyment at the end of the day. But when you've got a goal, you're going to achieve it as long as you're disciplined. And there's things that you're going to have to give up, unfortunately, along the way, like those fast foods, like those sweet foods. And if you're really serious about your goals, then you're going to be willing to do that. The next thing that I did to go from skinny fat to shredded was following a structured plan. Now, at the time, I said I was lifting heavy. I was kind of just doing whatever I wanted. I wasn't really following a structured plan. I'd go in the gym, I would lift as heavy as possible, but I wouldn't really have a plan to what I was doing. I knew the basics behind it, like I might do a push-pull legs, but I wasn't really sticking to it, and I wasn't really progressive overloading. Now, if you don't know what progressive overload is, it means every time you go in the gym, you're trying to either increase the reps or the sets, basically giving your body stimulus to react to. This allowed me to obviously lose weight through my nutrition, but also keep as much muscle as possible. Because I'm lifting heavy, my body needs to keep the muscle, so it needs to recruit the energy towards the muscle. That way I keep it. Obviously, if you're in a calorie deficit, your body could quickly burn through the muscle if it doesn't need it. So I made sure that I was lifting heavier and heavier, even when I was getting lighter. That way, I keep as much muscle as possible. As I said, when I was skinny fat, I was doing no cardio. And what cardio does, obviously, it burns calories. We sweat and we're burning calories. Now, as I said, if you want to lose weight, we need to be in a calorie deficit. And doing cardio is going to help us get there. So if our diet's good and we're doing cardio, we're burning even more calories, we're even in an even bigger deficit, and it's going to help us lose weight along the way. The cardio I did was boxing. Obviously, I said I was in a boxing training camp. I had a fight coming up. Boxing is super hard work. If you've never tried it, try it, and it's great cardio as well as learning how to fight. So obviously, I'm burning loads of calories through boxing. I'm eating in a calorie deficit. That allowed me to shed as much fat as possible. Another form of cardio that I get all my clients to do who don't do things like boxing is an incline treadmill walk. This is like steady state cardio, and it's the perfect amount of cardio to burn fat. So if you just want to burn fat, you don't need to go on jogs, you don't need to go on runs on the street at 5 in the morning, sprinting around. If you simply do your workout, you hop on an incline treadmill and you walk for half an hour, 20 minutes, you're going to burn a lot of calories, and you're also going to burn fat because it puts you in the perfect zone to burn fat. And that's one thing that I implement for all of my clients who want to lose fat, is that they're going to hop on the treadmill after their workout. To recap, how I went from skinny fat to shredded is fixing my nutrition, making sure that I'm eating in a calorie deficit, eating as clean as I can, high protein, and avoiding refined sugar. I followed a structured training plan and also progressive overloaded over time, allowing me to keep as much muscle as possible, stay as strong as possible while losing fat. And the most important part is consistency and discipline. Now, if you don't stick to the plan, you're never going to get the results you want. And that is why 99% of people aren't in the shape they want. It might even be why you aren't in the shape you want right now. So if you need some accountability, or you're not sure what you're doing in the gym, then book a call with me. Hit the top line in the description. We can have a chat about how I can help you achieve results, just like I do with all of my clients and like I have myself. Hopefully you've gained something from watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it's inspired you to show you that change is possible, and I've showed you the exact blueprint of how to get there and what I did. So if you found this video helpful, click the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments how you found it, and I'll see you in my next video.